Next up is the 4TAM Top 12, where we pick a topic and each of us come up with our top 3 picks, comprising a total list of 12. And today's topic is our favorite albums. Ricardo, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. My 3 favorite albums from my collection. To start, I'm going to talk about my 10,000 Days album from Tool. It's an amazing album, a beautiful orange vinyl. It's a bootleg, but the sound is amazing. I am enjoying it a lot. No inner sleeves, just a generic one. The second one that I can tell is Currents by Tame Impala. I just realized how good they are. Ryan showed me, and even when we were at John's place, he had the last album, and they're amazing. I love that album. And last but not least is going to be Kraftwerk, The Man Machine. It's a beautiful album. It's the beginning of all the electronic era. Florian passed a couple days ago, but it's going to be fine. And yeah, the disc condition is mint. I just got it from Encore Records with a lot of photograph on the inner sleeves, and the sound is amazing. So those are my 3 ones.
Awesome. Yep. John, how about you?
My top 3 albums that I own, one I just kind of talked about was that U2.com Artificial Horizon remix. There's 4 LPs, and I always love the songs that kind of have like my favorite U2 songs that kind of have like this digital remix or electronic music remix to them. My second one is the other one I talked about, the Inhaler album. I talked to you guys so much about this one. I just exciting kind of. I think the band's going to be really popular, and just this feeling of being on the ground up from a new band. I think they only made 500 of these albums, so just the story behind how I got this was fun. And my third favorite album that I own is Violator by Depeche Mode. Just because it was on my list of albums that I really liked in high school, and when I was going through our local record shop, Encore Records, I was going through it, and all of a sudden, like, hey, I found it, and it was at like a really good price, and the cover on it and the media is just pristine. So that was like one of my most exciting albums to get, and I love that. I love that record. Those are my top 3.
Awesome. How about you, Ryan?
Yeah, the top 3 favorites that I have in my collection. Very first one. One of my first, well, no, not really one of my first at all, but one of my favorite bands that I have in my collection that I've been building a catalog of is Tame Impala. And Inner Speaker, one of their first albums, is probably, I don't know, it's one of my favorite albums to listen to because any mood, any time of year, having a good day, having a bad day, it is an album that you can rock out to. The way that it sounds, the way that it carries. If you guys haven't checked out that album before, Inner Speaker, Tame Impala, I love it. I don't really have much to say about it in terms of like background, but Tame Impala is really just one guy, Kevin Parker, multi-instrumentalist, writes all of his own, not only instruments, but lyricist as well, and then collaborates with a lot of extra bands for tours, music videos, production. Yeah, so really cool just in terms of collaborating on a lot of different genres, like a fusion of different types of rock, but mostly just psychedelic type of melting guitar sounds and heaps of reverb. Second one in my collection that I love, another unique one, called GeoGaddy by Boards of Canada. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. GeoGaddy. Yeah, Boards of Canada. They're from Scotland, I think, and they're 2 brothers that have basically never done an interview. I don't know if you can find an interview of them on the internet. I've never bothered to look that hard. But yeah, they are very, very just do it for the music. Never really tour. There's not really much to their image. I guess they're the complete antithesis to U2 in terms of generating as much media, stadium attention, publicity hype, things like that. Boards of Canada, they are enigmas, but their music is electronic, heavily sample based, sort of trip hop. So if you guys are a fan of, like, I don't know what to compare them to, Some people compare it to like Aphex Twin, but kind of like maybe sometimes kind of Portishead, Massive Attack-ish. Check them out, Boards of Canada. And then my very final one, stretching the genres here. We're getting into some jazz. I love jazz music. Not all types of jazz music though. Like I don't really care for that, the super peppy like trumpet kind of 140, 150 BPM, like shut the fuck up. So my kind of jazz music is, and I don't always want to say that I like jazz music because then I don't want people to think that I'm into that kind of jazz music. I'm not, I love all kinds of music, guys, but just it's not what I'd have in my own collection, and it's okay for everyone to have their differences, right? So my favorite type of jazz music is by a guy named Paul Desmond. Incredibly smooth saxophone, piano, bass. If you guys are a fan of Dave Brubeck, Paul Desmond and Dave Brubeck work together. So if you like Time Out, if that's an album that you enjoy, that basically is Paul Desmond. Yeah.
Can't wait to hear those.
Can't wait to get together.
All right, I guess I'm up. All right, my first pick. This is an album that I kind of picked up about a year ago, and I listened to it probably weekly ever since I got it. And it is Aha's MTV Unplugged.
I'm going to steal that one.
Yeah, I'm going to steal it first before you, Ricardo.
Good luck. Such an amazing album. I was surprised to find out that Aha never actually stopped playing together. And I guess MTV Unplugged asked them for over a decade to do a show, and they finally did it. And it has some of the best renditions of their songs I've ever heard. Like their version of The Sun Always Shines on TV has a guest singer, Ingrid Havik. She's a Norwegian singer. It's incredible. Amazing. Another album I listen to on the regular is a soundtrack, actually. It's the Garden State soundtrack. Probably one of the best put together soundtracks any movie has ever had. Great collection. Coldplay, The Shins, 07, Colin Hay. It's incredible. Highly recommend it. And what's a top 12 list without a David Bowie record, right? And again, I'm not going to pick one of the cliche Ziggy's or anything like that, but my favorite Bowie album is actually Station to Station. Introduction to the Thin White Duke. One of the songs on here, I just love the story behind Golden Years. They had the studio artists or session musicians in there. They wrote the entire song, and Bowie still had 0 lyrics for it. The entire song was written front to back. Bowie went into the washroom, kind of locked himself in there, came out half an hour later with the lyrics, sang it in one take, and that's what you hear on the album.
That's art.
It's incredible. To be able to write a song and sing it in one take perfectly, it's insane.
That's really cool. I want to listen to all those albums right now.